Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sir Tommy P., Defender of the Faith,
And I'm Empress Liam.
and we are the Nephilim Murder Crew. And we are short one Hotep Jesus at the moment.
We are short of Hotep Jesus, but he's playing chess and he'll be finished soon.
Yeah, that's what he told us.
So, yeah.
But we didn't want to delay the show any longer. He will get here soon, but everybody's sitting here waiting for the show to start, so we'll just start it.
Yeah, until then we'll hop on here and
I think he may have double booked himself.
Yeah.
And
well, the chess stream is like a standing thing, and I think it was just like the times didn't click.
Right.
Like 7:15 Central is 8:15 Eastern.
Right.
I don't think that registered.
Okay.
So
either way, hopefully he will be here. He said he would be here.
As I said, he said he'd be here. I believe that he will be here.
Right.
But until then, you're stuck with us, which you'd be here anyway for us. So hi.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. I see a Hotep and Build in the chat. Welcome. He'll be here. He's playing chess.
Yeah, there's definitely some new people in the chat.
Yes. I'm excited for a little bit of a new audience, and also to be able to have like a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not as versed in the Hotep as my wife is.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I've seen him on Rogan and a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like many other things, I just don't have time to follow.
Yeah, it doesn't have.
I don't have 2.5 hours to dedicate to things.
To get it all.
My job is to be head of the household and support the family, and I do that.
Yes.
So, but she.
My job is to just not be retarded.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to a conversation because I have questions, and I know you have questions.
I do. I have a couple of ones that I've not thought to ask before.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So that's it. We're hanging out. And also, I want to give a shout out to Christina, Dr. Dingbat Christina on the Rumbles. This kind of all stems from a Twitter post that you had a hand in. So.
Oh yeah, do you have that bookmarked?
Thanks, girl. I do have it bookmarked actually.
Yeah, we'll.
I'm sure she saw that it was bookmarked and had a rush of fear come over her. Like, what did I say that was worth bookmarking?
This one here.
Yeah, she's in the comments on it.
Okay, so let me bring that up. This is, I guess, the thing. Should I go right to this tweet here?
Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah. And then just hit the back button to go.
Yeah. So the tweet from let me transit. There we go. The tweet from Mr. Hotep was things I said that people thought were controversial on Luke We Are Changed podcast. I don't vote. I don't believe in freedom. Fascism can be good. Maybe I've been doing too much critical thinking. And then if we go back, then Emily posted or commented on that. You're welcome to come on at Nephilim 187 crew. We will let you say whatever you'd like. And then Dr. Dingbat, and then Hotep said, okay. So that's how this all started. I thought it was a joke, but then he later confirmed it wasn't a joke. I don't know why.
Well, because it's a wholesome white woman.
Okay. And then Dr. Dingbat, that would be cool. And he said, okay, I hope it happens.
Yes. So it is happening. We were just running a little behind schedule. But again, like I said, he said he'd be here. He'll be here. So
that's how we got to where we're at.
Yes, thank you, Christina. That's how we got to this point right now at this moment.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Why does our volume look so low?
I don't know. Jenny said that it wasn't coming through that good.
How's that now? Either. Is that any better?
Okay, well, it's not blowing out, so that's good.
So yeah, okay, we'll keep it there.
Okay, we'll run with that. Sorry if anybody has to adjust their volumes.
Yeah.
I'd rather you have to turn it down than run your shit all the way up.
I can adjust that on the fly here. Let's see.
Oh, who's starting fights? Who's starting fights? You give energy.
Who's starting fights?
Yeah, who did you give energy to today? So to answer, yes, that was a series of tweets that Hotep Jesus did for a while. But I'll go ahead and answer that. I today helped an older couple in town reorganize their stuff and like do the manual labor side of things because they're elderly, and my brain is just kind of like fried because it's an overwhelm of like stuff, and I'm a
Other people's stuff.
well, and it's not really even other people's stuff. Like I didn't really consider myself like a minimalist. I did not consider myself that, but like when I look at our home, I'm like, maybe I am a little bit of a minimalist. Like maybe the whole like if you live in a cluttered home, you have a cluttered mind type of thing. Like maybe there's some truth to that.
It's
I don't know.
possible.
It's been a
Yeah.
it's been a very noticing type of experience. So my brain's a little fried, but I I I did take I did a full scoop of pre-workout earlier, so
Okay.
I I have here for the I'm sorry. I had to chuckle a little bit because you mentioned the moths.
Yeah. What is a maw? Oh, middle-aged white woman, duh.
Yeah, middle-aged white woman.
Wow, he made you middle-aged already.
Yeah, that's okay. I turned 35 in January, so fuck you, Scotty. Fuck you, Scotty. But I don't really care. Like I'm married, you know. So I don't really care at what age I get to. Like I've already hit the wall and I started decorating it. So I'm good. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I'll like wear the maw badge with pride, but
No,
it
I am
happens.
def.
It's an honor to get to middle age.
Does that make me a mom? Middle-aged white man? I'm a mom.
Mom?
Mom.
Mom?
Mom.
Mom. Oh, you said I'm not. Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't have that mind.
We all read that wrong.
Yeah. Or the reading comprehension's not so good.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna blame it on the Left Hand Brewing peanut butter stout.
I blame my parents for sending me to public schools.
Your mom sent you to a private Christian school for the beginning part.
Yeah, and until I didn't realize that was a better place to be and demanded I go to public school.
Right. You really thought the grass was greener on the other side.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The school's a waste of time anyway. I learned, I didn't.
Yeah. You figured out what you had to figure out.
I learned everything I need to learn after school.
That's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one of the things I'm looking forward to discussing with Hotep Jesus with our audience is the homeschooling and the importance of like having possession of our kids.
Right.
Like other people shouldn't be taking our kids for a lot of time and influencing the way that they're raised. Sorry, I'm just checking my messages to see if I have anything, and I don't. Okay, cool. This is stressful.
Okay. It's stressful.
This is stressful.
Well,
I feel like I'm flush.
It is what it is.
Not
if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Oh, okay, sweet. It's just me, the homie. You know what? Every good group needs a it's just me.
Yeah.
We everybody needs a JC and everybody needs a it's just me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
If you don't have those two, you probably ain't gonna make it.
I have only been made aware of It's Just Me about 15 minutes ago, and I can tell you right now, like, yeah, everybody needs it. It's just me.
Yeah.
It was like on that, like, and the other's like,
and so now I don't want to go giving It's Just Me a big head or nothing, but the way that you handle things and the way that you operate as a member of the community influenced how I operate. So with the Death Squad, specifically Raven, I am like you show up in the chat like you're supposed to be somewhere. I do that stuff. And I'm like, you're supposed to be doing stuff.
Right, where you at?
Yeah.
Why ain't you doing what you're supposed to do?
Need a not like a handler or anything, but like I don't know.
Yeah. Is the audio better? I made some adjustments on the fly here.
Oh, sweet.
So it should be, according to the meter, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. So
good evening, Hotep Alchemist. Hello.
All right.
Now that he's on his way, I've got a family prayer. Oh, hey. Okay, you go do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go pray. Prayer is far more important than anything we're doing over here, bud. Right. Like, you go do your prayer.
He's the one of the ones.
Oh, here we go.
He's one of the ones who says, I'm gonna do my stuff.
Hold on a second, I got it muted. Okay, let me
No, it didn't.
No, I gotta copy the link.
Yeah, that's the thing. As I was like, as soon as I said handler, I regretted it. JC, I know. That's gonna.
Yo,
That's
Oh, there you are,
sent
sir.
out.
what's up, yo?
Not much. Let
Hello.
me get you on the screen here. Give us 2 seconds. This is gonna take me a minute. So we're amateurs here. I do everything in OBS. I don't got any fancy backroom stuff or.
That's what I use. I use OBS.
Yeah, so you know how it is. There's no green room for to stage your guests early and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So let me.
So you have a lot more freedom to do stuff. A lot more customizations.
The hack link I put in didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, OBS is the way to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have total control over everything. Nobody else tells me what I can and can't do.
Right.
Why is that not? There you are. Okay, let me. And there we are, everybody. Hotep Jesus is here.
I'm sure we'll let him do his end of back office stuff.
Yeah.
Give him a minute. Ooh. I know.
Can you see me?
Yeah,
yes,
we can
sir,
see you.
We can see you.
Have you got us?
Yeah. Where's the? Hold on. Let me get the YouTube link. Let's get it popping, man. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of chess lesson. I thought we was at 9:15 tonight.
No,
You're good.
I remembered that there was a 9:15 thinking, and then I was like, I'm pretty sure he has his chess thing, so we figured it out. It's no big deal.
All right.
The YouTube chat is barren. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot
Royal.
of. We have about 12 people that watch on YouTube. Everybody else watches on Rumble. We have full Rumble chat. Lots of. That's where all our traffic is.
There you go, right there.
Good evening, Zowski. Good evening, Subliminal, and we got 1973 Gino. Hello. Did he win? Oh, Jenny would like to know if you won your chess match.
Oh no, it was lessons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, boom. All right, it's out there in the ether. We live. I just put it out on my Twitters, my X Spaces.
Awesome.
We live. I just put it up there.
Good.
What we talking about today, man?
Okay, so Emily is gonna kind of guide this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bud. I mean, I know who you are. I've seen you on Rogan, or I heard you on Rogan. I recently watched you on Luke, and man, I feel bad you had to sit through that. You looked very uncomfortable the whole time, and I was uncomfortable for you. You know, I'm just like, how are these people disagreeing with him on some of this stuff? And we will definitely get into that later for sure.
Yeah.
But from what I know about you, everything that comes out of your mouth, I tend to agree with. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, you
on the same page.
Yeah, you've definitely piqued my interest for sure.
Yeah.
And my wife keeps me filled in. I just like my job is to be head of this household and provide for this family, and I take that very seriously. That's what I do. So I don't have 2.5 hours a day to sit around and watch podcasts and do things. But so far, like from what I've seen, I agree with a lot of what you say, and I'm really interested to learn a little more about you.
Awesome, man. Hell yeah, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
What you want to know? I got it. It's a lot. I'm a big bag.
So I found myself having an issue. I have Jenny. I told her, our group chat this morning. I was like, we're having Hotep Jesus on tonight. Does anybody have any like specific questions? And Jenny's like, well, I haven't heard much about him. Could you tell me about him? I'm like, I literally sat there staring at my phone for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, how do I summarize Hotep Jesus to somebody that doesn't know him? He's too multifaceted. He's had too much like public growth. He's a jokester. He's very serious. He's all these things, and you have to like experience him to fully understand the Alpha and Omega.
I am the one. I am him.
So, but yeah, it's I just ultimately I want more people to understand the personal growth that you've gone through, and also like how more people should have be embracing.
Oh, we lost him. Hold on a second. Where'd he go?
He ran away. He said, I'm not doing this.
Oh no.
He said, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He dropped out.
I don't think it was him.
No, it's not on our end. Everything looks good.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we all have. We're
Oh,
good.
I got massive.
Well, that's the
speed.
thing is I noticed his green screen was greening because, so yeah, I think it's an issue on his end.
Okay, well,
He'll be back.
yeah. Well, we'll go back here until I see him pop back in.
So he was here for a minute. It wasn't a.
Right? Yeah, he showed
It
up.
wasn't a gotcha.
It counts. It counts.
It was not a clickbaity title.
Oh.
That's how you know it's gonna be a good conversation.
Right? Honestly, every episode we've done where it's been like one of those deep good things, it's like stuff like this happens.
It's been so. Oh,
Check your messages.
okay.
Malort, the official drink of Nephilim Murder Crew.
Oh, by the by, bottle's on its way to Florida.
Oh yeah.
Get your tickets at brokegrove.com if you have not already and or are still on the fence about going.
Oh yes, all of our normal viewers that are some of whom are going to Bohemian Grove. Yes, there is a bottle on its way to Florida right now.
Yep.
So
That's why I said that.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just repeating.
Just getting them all hyped up for it.
Also, letting my parents know there's. Oh, he's back.
Okay, there we go. Oh,
he's not back, but I got a screen back.
There we go.
So when
that's step one.
Step one.
Step one. Oh shit! Who's fighting the dead
we
tonight?
back.
We're back.
We're back. Okay, cool.
Had to reset the
we're back.
modem.
Yo, my power just went out.
Oh, okay.
That's the
But
worst.
I just realized I should probably, because I got a battery backup. So if my power go down, my computer stays up.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm like, I need the internet to be plugged into that too.
Yeah, right.
That's the other important
We were just
part.
saying it's funny every time we wind up doing a show where we get a little deep or say some things that some people might not like. Some weird stuff happens. Our stream goes down. I got to restart my computer. We had to.
Definitely on the. Y'all don't know what y'all saying on this podcast, but it just cut my power out. Y'all
Yeah.
must be on to something over here. I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
I restrain myself when I call into the Griff Report, and even some of those times, like it's So on my own show, we can only, y'all know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're free to say whatever you like on this show, but just so you know, we don't use these, keywords for what we mean, what we like.
I don't care.
I don't care. The only people that's gonna boot us off is maybe YouTube. But like we have 12 people to watch on YouTube. Y'all can come over to Rumble eventually. You know what I mean? Like if YouTube shuts us down, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, make the migration.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's the main reason.
Sorry about that. We got the power back. We back now. So
yeah, good. All right.
That's okay. We're good with that.
So Emily, where are we gonna start this at?
Okay, so what I was saying before the power got cut out was the evolution that you've gone through, right? That growth process, that like where you start out in this one place and then you learn some more stuff and you grow and you adjust a little bit. I think that there's not enough of a representation of that. And I think like the people need it. I like that about how that's how you've done your public facing life, is like you showed up a certain way and then you've grown and evolved into Hotep Jesus at this point. And I know that there's another phase coming, but
yeah. Whoo, that's the struggle though, right?
Yeah.
Like the evolution is the struggle. Because it's you get jaded really fast. You get jaded to the money, you get jaded to the lifestyle. So, in some ways, and also it's like you're always broke, right? Like the more money you got, the more money you spend. So you're still at the same debt to income ratio.
Yeah,
right?
But don't I know it? Trust me.
Yep.
I was in that trap for so many years, and now it's like, I got titles for everything in a safe upstairs. You know what I mean? But like I was in that, I make an extra $400 a month now, so I can afford a $300 more a month car payment. Oh, and there he goes again.
Oh, it didn't totally cut
No, it's
out.
out there. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh,
His power went out
whoa.
again.
Okay.
Wow. It's going to be one of these episodes, ladies and gentlemen.
Stormy in New Jersey?
Is he in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't know we had that in common,
I was
too.
going to say that's the other thing that connects you two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah, man, somebody does not want this episode to happen.
No.
I think it's the devil.
Yeah, probably.
I would assume it's the devil because he knows what I have to talk about tonight.
Yeah, right? That's okay. And it's windy as hell and cold. Yeah. And that's the thing is like I'm pretty sure there's that funky that was coming through us a couple days ago.
It's like, the one episode my parents decided to watch, and this is it, you know.
This is how it goes.
Although it's funny, too, because I've been trying to get them to watch the show forever, and they won't. And then I tell them Hotep Jesus is going to be on, and they're like, we'll be there.
The Hotep Jesus that was on Gutfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
One and the same.
No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I think this is probably the first time they're catching it live if they're still here. But
Maybe.
they watch. I
they catch
bust
it
them.
after the fact. It's kind of it's a later for them one.
I jest.
It's a joking.
I like to make fun of my mother. It's one of the few joys I have left in life.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Does making fun of your mom give you more joy than making fun of me?
Maybe. Oh, and we're back.
Okay, cool. Hello, sir.
They just cut my internet.
I'm telling you, man. Somebody does not want this show to happen.
They did it again.
Oh,
No, they didn't.
Oh, hello?
Did
hello.
They? Okay.
There you are, sir.
Hello?
We're back.
I see you.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
This is so terrible.
Yo, y'all spooky. I'm telling you, my internet never does this.
Right?
Y'all is spooky as hell, yo.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the devil doesn't want the show to happen.
Yeah, I guess that would be like the thing that doesn't need to happen is the overlap of the Hoteps and the dangerous retards.
Yeah.
It'd be over for you hoes. Proverbially.
Oh my God. All right, I think it's stable now.
Yeah, I was just making a comment to the viewers that my parents are watching the show, and I can't get my parents to watch our show ever. But the second I told them Hotep Jesus was going to be on, they were like, "That the guy from Gutfeld? Yeah, we're watching."
Let's go. Shout out to the parents. I'm sorry the internet keep messing up.
Oh,
That's all right. This is why you need a handler. No, JC, none of us need handlers.
no, nobody needs a handler for sure.
We don't need handlers. We already have NSA agents. Thanks, Pedro.
Yeah, my parents don't watch my show either.
Yeah.
I'd have to have somebody. I'd have to have Serena Williams or somebody on, and they'd probably watch it.
I know my mom tries. She watches sometimes on the rerun. She never watches live. But eventually I say something that pisses her off, and she's got to turn it off.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
But in reality, the woman's. I wouldn't say she's a saint, but she's a schismatic who left the Catholic Church, so there's no way she could be a saint.
Oh,
But she's a wonderful. I'll just
Catholic bashing.
Oh no, this is I'll just joke. My mother is a wonderful woman in all reality, but she's watching, so I gotta, you know what I mean. I gotta do it. That's just who I am.
I'm just gonna sit here and die slowly.
Yeah.
It's not even my mother we're talking about.
No. Hey, I said she's a wonderful woman.
I know
I'm still gonna bust balls. It's just,
Shout out to Mama.
Oh.
Okay.
Emily just informed me you're in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey cat.
I'm originally from New Jersey myself.
Are you? What
Yeah.
part?
South Jersey. Around Cherry Hill area.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're up north. I can tell from the way you talk.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Jersey in the house. Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Emily, you were going every time you open your mouth. I don't know if it's what you talk, because every time you open your mouth, he leaves the screen.
Well, well, that's because we don't argue in Hotepistan. You don't argue with women on the internet.
No, you don't. Absolutely.
That's a thing. And also, there's a caveat to that. Women don't argue with spicy men on the internet.
Facts.
Right. So those are the two sides of that one.
All right. I agree with these rules of Hotepistan so far.
If your woman is arguing with other men online, that's called cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Hotep,
can.
you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Yeah, no, if she wants to argue with a man, I'm right here.
Only man you argue with is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have the energy to argue with people online. That just sucks the life out of you.
Yep, that's all it's meant to do.
Exactly.
That's
It's
that's
just
all it's meant to do.
yeah, just get you going, keep you on the app longer, and then fuel the desire to buy something or eat something sugary or yeah, it's just all shit. Um, I guess that ties into like the very anti-victimhood stance that that I feel comes along with being in Hotep Nation is there's no label that another person could put on you that should actually like stop you from doing anything.
Yeah.
And that's something
I
that
had one dude tell me, he said, you guys are using the name Hotep. Hotep's not marketable. I said, what?
the hell
No,
it
he doesn't
isn't.
know. He said, he didn't know I had a career in marketing and branding. So I remember that. I'll never forget that comment. And I got to thank him for that because it fueled me to prove that Hotep is absolutely marketable, and it's been marketable. And it's been doing absolutely phenomenal since.
It's I don't know why somebody would think that's not marketable. It sticks with you. Like you hear it. It's not a common thing. So I from the first second I heard your name when she introduced me on Joe Rogan, like Hotep Jesus, like I'm not like who, you know what I mean? Like it's not a name you forget.
No.
Mhm.
It's one that's
Mhm.
it's one that sticks around.
So yeah, no, I disagree with him 100%. It's one of those things you hear once. You know, you don't need to hear it 3 times to remember it. You hear it once. You're like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got my name. Somebody, that's what they called me. They like, what do you think you are, some sort of Hotep Jesus? And I looked at it like, ooh, that got a ring to it.
I can sell that.
You know
I
what?
can sell that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Oh.
So the other thing that I learned, well not learned, but was confident enough to do was homeschooling. And that had a lot to do with y'all's the Hotepistan homeschool initiative and
Mhm.
the fact that you homeschool your children for quite similar reasons to the reason I had to wanting to homeschool my child. It's like that's my baby. I don't need somebody else raising it and teaching it things and putting shitty ass ideas in her head. And
Mhm.
I don't need all that. Like that there's enough the devil's gonna do that enough. I don't need y'all programming things in there that are not gonna serve her for her whole life. Um the and the other thing that people who know about the program know, but I was wondering if I could get more information on it for people is the STEM programs that you have through the initiative and the partnerships that you're doing to get
Yeah,
these.
we're partnered with Home Hacker Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's a scholarship program. So when kids want to get into robotics or coding, but their family can't afford to do so, we facilitate that.
Yeah, that's a great thing. As somebody who works in the tech industry, you know what I mean? Like for sure it's going to be if you can get your foot in the door there, man, you know, even at the lower levels, you'll live a decent life.
I mean, it's the future, right?
Yeah,
Like the future
absolutely.
is coding, the future is robots. I mean, it's the future. Like, a robot technician is going to be like a car mechanic.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I was going to say. You know, so many people are into the coding and the software side of it, but there's a huge demand right now for the hardware side of the electrical engineering end. The wiring, the communication networks. That's what I do for a living, and I'll never
Okay.
be out of a job because there's so few people that are into it. Like I said, even though I technically work on a software team, the reason I was hired, my specialty is low voltage engineering, low voltage communication networks, that kind of thing. So, and there's a huge need for that right now. Which is why I speak so freely and openly on the internet using my real name, because like, what's my company going to fire me? I got an inbox full of offer letters right now from, all their competitors. Like, go ahead and fire me, man.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, even if you do, like I said, like I own everything at this point now. Like you can't take it from me.
It's gonna
Yeah,
suck for a
exactly.
minute or two, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
So if you're looking for a way to expand the curriculum, what you're doing, the hardware end of it is in dire need.
Okay.
Teaching kids all about wiring. It's cool that you know how to write the code for the computer so it can talk, but how about the the design for so that this module can talk to this module, and you know what I mean? Can communication, LIN communication, DIS3, DIS5, all that kind of stuff.
Date, like, network
Yeah.
communications.
Yeah. Like I work in the automotive industry, so like I work with like automotive Ethernet is a big one nowadays that everybody's going to for the backbone of their networks, and nobody in the automotive industry knows anything about Ethernet. You know what I mean?
No.
So there's a huge manufacturers are so short on engineers right now for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember running Cat5 cable back in the day.
Yeah. We're using like Cat 7 stuff now, but yeah.
What are you using now?
Cat 7 on everything minimum.
At Cat 7 now?
Yeah.
What's the bandwidth on Cat 7?
Ooh, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But it's mainly an extra ground for less noise and stuff like that.
Okay. That's how you're refining it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Got you. Reduce the noise. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Reduce the noise, increase the speed, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you reduce the noise, you increase the speed.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. That's super dope. You taking me back, man. You take me back to my computer engineering days.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's funny. The job I do now, I'm learning the software because I'm on a software team. I get to learn all about so I'm slowly, I can't write any software at this point, but I can diagnose and run basic commands and scripts and patches and. But it's awesome to learn that stuff as somebody who's come from strictly a hardware background to understand how the software now interfaces with the hardware that I'm used to working with. So yeah, it's like a whole new level of learning, and it's like an onion. You're just peeling back one extra layer now.
Yeah, you're taking me back to my early days. When we talk about like this evolution, evolution started with computers. That's my beginning.
Yeah.
My brother's a computer engineer. He's a computer program. He doesn't actually program. He manages the team of programmers. He's a director, and some big fancy bank. My first computer in the household was a Commodore 64.
So you're about my age then, okay?
Yeah.
You guys are both 80s babies.
Yeah, so we had a Commodore 64 in the house. So, me and my pops used to, we used to build our PC. We would go to the car show, the computer shows. Do you remember computer shows?
I don't. I was, when I was young, I was really not into any of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
It was honestly, I was into cars, and it was getting in the cars that eventually, modern cars, working on them. If you want to be good at it.
It's like a car show. It's like a gun show, and they even got the nasty section with the girls and the thongs and stuff at the computer show.
Yeah. So it's just like it's a man show basically.
It's a man show.
Yeah.
It's a man show. But yeah, we used to go there when I was a kid and get this. Back then there was CD-ROM, right? So it was like we had a 2X and then the 48X came out. So that's where you would go salvage parts at the computer show. I used to build and sell computers. That's my beginning. And I tell a lot of people that like that's one of my advantages is I'm very familiar with computers and I grab software really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like that's one of the main reasons I was able to put this show together as quickly. Like, so we've only been doing this 5 months now.
Yeah.
So honestly, we really appreciate you even being on the show at this point. Like,
thank you.
Honestly, most people at your level are like, yeah, you guys don't have any viewers. I'm not coming on your show.
Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I would have understood.
I never do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that about you, sir.
Keep guessing.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, as somebody who has no idea, has never done any broadcast, never done anything audio visual before, but I know software and I know hardware and I know how to wire. So I was like, all right, I need a nice computer, I needed some decent microphones and OBS, and just play around with it. And I think I've gotten pretty good audio video quality for people who've only been around a couple months.
I think we dialed it in.
Yeah, I think the quality's great.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
You, sir.
It wasn't cheap, I'll tell you that. You know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but yes, it's what you got to do if you want to put out a decent product, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Emily, where we steering this before I take a chunk out of it?
If you want to take a chunk, you could do that.
Well,
That's
I
fine.
kind of wanted to go back to the episode you just did with Luke.
Okay.
Because I was, like I said, I could see on your face you looked a little perturbed, especially with the woman who wound up sitting next to you. I was extremely perturbed with her myself. I was like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And I have that problem with that whole crowd of libertarians. And I can say this because I used to be one of those hardcore libertarians. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
no government freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But then you look at the world we live in today, and I realize that absolute freedom always leads to absolute degeneracy. There's no you can't have absolute freedom to do what you want and it not wind up in like pedophilia and bestiality. It's just where its natural end is there.
That's just where the mudslide lands. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like.
So I
You're gonna need some guardrails somewhere.
yeah, so I kind of got that feeling that, you know, they cut you off a few times. I know there was a few statements you kind of made and then got sidetracked. So
More about this, the fascism good.
yeah, so the post that started this whole thing where you're saying like, you know, a certain amount of fascism is good, and I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
So my political beliefs nowadays, having been a hardcore libertarian for 20 years of my life, I am now what I would call a Christian monarchist. I want a Christian monarchy at this point. I want a king, and you know, at the end of the day, the king's responsible. You know what I mean? There's no backroom deals. There's no wealthy families in the back that you have no idea who they are actually calling the shots. You got the king. And when I say Christian in full, just so everybody knows, like, get it out there. When I say Christian monarchy, what I really mean is Catholic monarchy.
Okay.
Because that's the way God intended. In the Bible, there was always a king, and then there was always a high priest, only one, the highest of high priests that made the calls in a religious sect. So you got a king and a pope, say, in modern time, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the pope handles the religious and God end of it, and the king handles the worldly kingdom end of it. And if one of them screws up, you know who to hold accountable at the end of the day.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. It makes things a lot faster when you want to make change in your nation.
Expeditiously.
You only got to come for one person.
Right.
One head. That's all I need. Just give me
There's
the
only one head you got to take off.
And there's always somebody that's got a rightful claim to the throne to step up and be the benevolent king if this guy screws up.
And that's the thing. What happens is that throne becomes power. So when we see Rome, we know Rome failed many times because people saw that power and said, I'm next in line.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take the king. So what you have to do is you have to disincentivize being a leader.
Yeah. I honestly, I think at this point where we are at right now, I would much rather the person who's in charge, it be a random birth. You know, you just happen to be born into the right family, as opposed to
I think the king should have to live in the poorest neighborhood of his kingdom.
Okay.
Genius.
I mean, I never really put much more thought into it than as that, but like,
he must subsist off of the same wages as the poorest part of his kingdom.
yeah, there you go. Then either everybody's well off or everybody's poor. But nobody, yeah.
When my grandpa and I would have like Saturday morning cigarette and coffee conversations while he's reading the newspaper, that was what we decided with like that would be like the solution for our political leaders as it stands. Your base salary should be the lower end of your median income. Like the people that you represent, you should literally represent them. You should know their struggle. You should know what it's like in your district that you're representing. You might do a better job. It shouldn't be six figures and lifetime insurance and everything else that it is. Like actually, that was the conclusion that we came to. So yeah, the lowest, that's
might have to do a mean. Do the mean of the salary.
Yeah, and that would even
that's what these politicians should get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you do a mean. Oh my God, they'd be like,
they'd start acting right. Yeah, they'd start acting right so quick it would clear out the pool.
Yeah, but when you've got
they would quit. They would quit. That's what they would do.
But yeah, when you've got a system where people seek power and will take it at all costs, like. You know what I mean? I just think at the end of the day, you'd be better off with a roll the dice birth rate kind of thing, you know? And then I lost my train of thought. It happens sometimes.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about the monarchy.
How did that
monarchy.
start? Oh, yes, the monarchy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was kind of chuckling to myself because it sounds like Hotepistan.
Yeah. You know this is a thinking man we're dealing with here. If you've come to this point, this realization that monarchy, at the very least, is better than what we have now.
So I always tell people, we are on this show. I probably said it a million times. We were much freer under King George before the Revolution than we are today.
People don't understand that.
No, they don't. Like
you try to explain it to them, they'll be like, "But what about this time that King George did this?"
Okay.
Yeah, under King George, you were free to get on a boat without any type of paperwork and come over to the different country and just set up shop, take the land you want, build what you want on it, do what you want with it. You know what I mean? Pay me my tribute.
George his cut.
Yeah, send King George's cut, which was much smaller cut than what we're paying nowadays.
Bring back King George.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody.
But, you know, that realization is what sparked my studies, because I said, what happened to all the monarchies? Because if monarchy is much better than this, and that's when I started to see, you know, through this concept of communism.
Yeah.
You know, they slowly moved everything into really what you would call a democratic system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People have no idea about the real French Revolution. No idea of the real French Revolution. They think of, you know, Marie Antoinette was the biggest scapegoat in human history.
Oh yeah, it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that was the kickoff. We had the American Revolution, then the French Revolution, and then the communists took out the Romanovs in Russia, and that was the end of it. They essentially killed off Christendom with that. And
the Kaiser in Germany.
Yeah. But yeah, the Russian, that was really the official snuffing out of the last of Christendom, of the last of the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, you know, Russia was, you know, Orthodox Christian, you know, that
yeah.
Christian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were heavy into that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the unifying factor for Russia. They were like supposed to be like the Christian nation.
Yes, absolutely. They were at that point the seat of the Orthodox nation. Like the Christian world flowed through Russia at the time, basically.
Yeah.
So, and then I mean, I don't know. Anybody who watches this show already knows who led that revolution against the Christians, but we don't talk about it, you know. Although I will say I'm talking to the biggest anti-Semite troll around right now in Hotep Jesus.
Oh yeah. What did you do to Media Matters?
Yeah,
sir?
bro.
Oh, they're mad at me.
They are so mad at you.
So
they are front page of Google.
So, like I said, I told my parents you were going to be on because I know they watch Fox News, and I was like, "Oh, let me send them a clip of Hotep on Gutfeld and say, hey, we're gonna have him on our show, you know, tomorrow night or whatever." And I type in Hotep Jesus Gutfeld, and all I have is a page full of the most anti-Semitic man on the internet, a huge anti-Semite on Fox News, you know, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I can't even get to a video. It's just, it was impressive. Honestly, I was hats off, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Every time I go on Fox News, Media Matters writes an article.
Yeah, I noticed that. You must go on there all the time. There's a lot of articles.
Yeah. That's how I know how many times I go on. I just count the articles on Media Matters, and I go, okay, yep, that's another Gutfeld episode.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
That's okay. I'm coming for my check. I just need them to keep racking it up.
Right. Yeah.
There you
keep
go.
racking them articles up because I'm calling my attorney.
Yeah. That's like now. Yeah, just get up to like a dozen counts of defamation. Get my check. Got my face.
Yeah, run my check up.
Yeah. There's worse ways to make money.
On the worst ways to make money, there's a book of yours that is no longer available, which I agree. These people don't deserve that book. You had to get in early to get that book. And if you weren't here for that book, you don't get that book. But Hats off to you on that one. It's like
Thank
400.
you.
It's like $497 online. If you really want it, you could get it.
What book is this? I'm not aware of this book.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I
uh,
got a $500 book. Yeah.
yeah.
You, you don't read it. It's evil.
So and okay, I'm glad that you said that because I think that it's genius from the fact of like, hey, I figured this out. Let me explain this to y'all. I feel like more people would benefit from this knowledge because I don't think that it was an accident that you figured it out, right? Like I think of all the heads that God could have put that idea in. He said, this one will handle it right. So I think that it was a good thing, but I also know how people are. So when I read through it, it just seemed like that I was like, well, this just makes sense. This is just how you like if this is what you're trying to do and who you're trying to be, this is the formula to do it. Um, but again, I don't think most of y'all people deserve it. So it is good that it's behind a $500 paywall now. But
Yeah.
do you foresee a time in the future where you may have to do that with one of your other books? Or do you think that the Patriot Report and the Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, do you think those will be able to be entrusted to the general public for a long time?
Yeah. Yeah, I think those will be entrusted to the general public
Okay.
for as long as time lasts. If anyone get pulled, it would be the masculinity book, but that's so the masculinity book, the Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, that one was in university curriculum in the psychology course.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, that was in somebody's syllabus. I forget the name of the university.
I want to say it was Yale, but I don't know for sure.
No, it wasn't Yale. No, it
Okay.
wasn't Yale. It was down south somewhere. I forget. But yeah, I think those are safe. I
Okay,
don't
good.
think I don't think they'll be. The reason why the book that shall not be named, the reason why I pulled that from the market is because one of the things I said in there was I was teaching divisiveness and how to,
Oh.
it's no disrespect, but it's the religious model, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the religious model where you have
Good guy, bad guy.
the bad guy. Yeah, you got the devil, right? Demons,
Mm-hmm.
and some people used it in politics,
Mm-hmm.
and I showed them how to do it in politics, and I've created a mess.
Yeah, that's the roll of the dice sometimes when you put something out there. You don't know how it's going to be used or perceived, and sometimes it's.
And you don't know who's gonna get their hands on it.
But the
Yeah.
difference is you pulled that and realized, oh my God, what did I do? Let me take
Whoops.
that back. It's out there
Yeah.
Let
for
me
what's
stop
out there,
the
but I
spread.
can prevent it from spreading much more. Whereas most
Yeah.
people would just keep taking the money. Let me just
It,
rake in
it
that
hurt.
money.
It hurt my income too because that's my bestseller.
That's the flagship.
That was my
man.
bestseller. That
Yeah.
was my bestseller. It's a $50 book. That's my bestseller. I could eat off that book forever. And I pulled the book that I can eat off of forever.
But that's a sign
Yeah.
of a just man. You know what I mean? That's a sign of somebody who thinks about the society at large and not just himself.
Yeah. Such is the burden.
Yeah.
Such is the burden. Yeah.
Well, we used to be a society like that. I mean, there was always the outliers, there's always the greedy, but like for the most part,
Most people.
when
There
we
was some honor.
well, even though I say America's never been a Christian nation because I don't think it was ever founded on Christianity, it was founded on Freemasonry and Enlightenment values. Because like let's be honest, the freedom of religion is not a godly value. God, it breaks the first commandment. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. These are not godly values. They break other commandments. Don't use the Lord's name in vain. Things like
Mhm.
this. So these are
Mhm.
not biblical. These are not Christian values.
Mhm.
But people seem to think they are because next to them they kind of use the word God, like, oh, these rights are inalienable by God. They're handed by God. But what God? What God are you guys talking about? Because I don't think you're talking about the same God I'm talking about when you say freedom of
Mhm.
religion and freedom of expression.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of this stuff, honestly, as much as a lot of people will hang me for it, I've said it before, I don't think we should have absolute freedom of speech. I think the Muslims are onto something with their blasphemy laws and things like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
The only drawback to that is that the the freedom of speech idea is to be able to say the things that nobody wants to hear, whether that be Christian people don't want to hear it, or like the actual the blue people don't want to hear it, right? So like
Hmm.
that's kind of, I mean, and if you get to a point, if we were founded on Christian values as a Christian nation, it wouldn't be the situation that we have today, right? We wouldn't have a society that doesn't get along, that doesn't have a foundational, 10 rules that we all agree on. We've reached a point in society where there's barely any rules that we all agree on, right? Like some areas, they don't even agree that your stuff's your stuff and my stuff's my stuff. Like there's
Hmm.
some parts of this country that you couldn't leave a fishing rod unattended for 5 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I've had fishing rods janked from me before, but but that's the thing is like we don't live in that type of a society to allow those freedoms.
Yeah.
We've swung to a point where kind of like if your grandparents were loose with raising your parents are loose with raising you, and then you just kind of turn into I don't know, a heathen, right? But if everybody's strict, then you still run the risk of having a heathen kid three runs down the line because you're too strict. So we've reached this point where like everybody is heathens, and we got to have those guardrails back because there's no future if we don't have the guardrails. If we keep throwing gutter balls, like it's gonna.
Freedom ain't free.
No, it's
No.
not.
No, it comes at a cost that people aren't willing to pay.
Facts.
Oof. Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay. Everybody in the transactions gotta pay when
Yeah.
it comes to freedom. Everybody's gotta pay. There's a tax when it comes to freedom. Freedom ain't free, man.
No, it's free. You're free. You got to be free to do the right thing, or else it all falls apart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oof. Dang.
Yep. Freedom to do. I like that. Freedom to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Freedom to do the right thing. Right. That's
Yeah.
what you got the freedom to do.
Yeah, because like
Absolutely.
I said, even though freedom, I don't believe the countries are founded as a Christian country. It was full of Christians who did Christian things, and up until the '60s, it was honestly not too bad. You know, people looked out for each other. They loved each other. They knew their neighbors. We all did a thing. All the wives stayed home. Wives didn't care about politics. The world was good. They didn't have to worry themselves about it. That was another thing that you mentioned on the Luke show is that, the fact that women even want to vote tells you more about our society than it does the way women vote.
Yep. The fact that your women vote lets you know your society's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are women more devoted and dedicated to politics than their own family, than their own husband and their own kids? They be on the phones, calling people. Same cold calls you could do for a business, for your husband's business, whoever's business.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is sad. It's so much female energy. You see it with the Democrats. It's so much female energy, and it's very much demeaning and belittling to have women deal in such things. Like women should be upset that they're involved in politics.
Yeah.
I agree.
They should be so upset with men that they're like, why am I doing this?
Why I gotta be involved?
Why I gotta be involved? So we could tell them, stop it, stupid. That's why the country's messed up already.
Yeah.
I am team repeal the 19th.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
one.
boy.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh.
I'm team repeal the 19th. I don't think us women should be burdened with that responsibility. Like we have other things we can worry about. We have to worry about raising our children. And if you're not the kind of lady to have children, you have to worry about taking care of your husband. And if you're not the type of bitch to have a husband, you're going to be getting a bag. Go worry about getting the bag and paying taxes. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But like the added stress of worrying about the safety and future of our country isn't something And as a woman, I can say this, it's not something your lady brain is wired to handle. You're not wired to handle all that pressure and all that stress and think as many moves ahead as are required to make those types of decisions. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have that wiring. That's not what we're for. There's a reason.
Exactly.
There's a reason God made man and then said, "Oh, he should have somebody for himself. Let me give him a lady." You know, that's like we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be here to help y'all out and facilitate y'all handling everything. Like that's.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a minute to understand and like really, I guess, embrace that and like scrub out all the feminism that had been shoved in me. But
Mm-hmm.
like, it's just it's a more comfortable place for me to be as a human being in my woman role as a mom, as a wife, as a homemaker, as the, I educate my kid because we homeschool.
Yeah, my
These
personal assistant. I wouldn't survive without her. I said I work hard to provide for my family, and
I schedule the doctor's appointments. He lets me know when the cars need the oil changes. I take those in. I drop off the dry cleaning. I do the meal prepping. Like I do
yeah,
everything to facilitate him doing his job. That's my job. And, like that's just for the most part, I think that most people, most women would feel better about themselves, would be more happy, like just understanding that like your only responsibility is inside the four walls that you live in. Right? That's all you got to worry about. You don't have to worry about Brenda in accounting. You don't have to worry about your fucking creepy ass boss man with his bad coffee breath and halitosis and fucking shitty ass comments about your skirt. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to deal with all that. Just fucking go home. Learn how to spend less. Learn how to be slightly useful. Mow your own lawn. You know what I mean? Like there's things that we could do to make our lives better, but you have to accept the fact that yeah, it worked for my grandma and she enjoyed it. Sure, my mom made it. That's great. But like I don't have to live like that. I don't have to do the things that y'all have done. The like sure, it worked for you, but it's 2024, we could change things. And then also like did it really work for y'all, ladies older than me? Did it really work for y'all? I don't think it did.
Mm.
I think a lot of sad and frustration and hurt and anger and Karenry could have been avoided if they just stayed home and didn't worry about having careers and voting every 4 years for some president that doesn't even matter.
Pretty much.
That's the other part of it is I don't know. The whole voting thing is goofy. They don't.
yeah. Honestly, I think landowning males, you gotta have skin in the game to vote. You know what I mean? I might even bump it up to business owning males, the only people who can vote.
Have it like
I
five
say
employees.
kids.
Let the kids vote.
Let the kids vote.
No.
Oh,
if you ain't
if
got
you have
kids.
kids.
Oh, if you don't have kids, yeah. Well, that's kind of where I'm at. If you don't have skin in the game, you can't vote. Whether
Yeah.
it be you're a landowner, or you have kids, you're maybe even go as far as business owner with kids. I don't know. But like not everybody needs to be voting. People are dumb.
Yeah. My vote is kids, because then you really give a fuck about the country.
Yeah, then you got to worry about the country you leave for not only the next generation, but possibly the generation after that, and the one after that, and the one after that.
Exactly.
I'm so glad that you brought kids into the conversation because that was my last question is do we actively encourage the young people to have the families? Yes, we encourage them to have families, right? But are we at a point where we can be honest with them and let them know that yes, it's hard, but also it motivates you in a way that nothing else on this planet will motivate you? Are we
Yeah.
where I feel like we're at that point where we should start telling people that like yes, it is hard. Yes, you will probably not sleep well for the first like 2.5 years. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be
You're
an
definitely not gonna get any
adjustment.
sleep.
Yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment, but it's one of the things where it is a hard thing, but it's the most valuable thing, and it has a lot of like cascading effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as historically, men who were married typically earned more, and then once they started having children, they became more driven to seek promotions or find better paying positions, right? Like it's a motivator. Um,
Right.
do you think Renee says, yes, have kids and have as many as you can. Thanks.
Renee got like 25 kids. He got a small nation.
Good for Renee. I don't know who Renee is, but
Renee has Renee's got the first Hotep Nation Apex baby.
oh, hey, that's funny. He's got 5. My cousin Renee is
Has
a female,
5, yeah.
has 5 as well.
Yeah.
So it must be a Renee thing.
She said he got an Apex baby.
That's what happened. Is
Oh.
Renee started taking the Apex, and
That's-
then like, wouldn't you know it?
That's what I wanted
We
to
got,
talk to
we
you
got
about.
2 pink lines.
Is your supplement line. I I
Yeah.
don't take anything, but Emily swears by the mushroom stuff,
The flow.
and she's refused to share it with me.
It's not that
I've asked several times, and she's refused. So
It's,
The flow is
The
the
smile.
flow is something else, man. The flow be flowing.
yeah, but tell me about the Apex. Obviously, she's talking about the flow, and I'll let you talk about the flow yourself for sure. But also, I'm interested in the Apex and the
Yeah.
Moon?
the what?
the sleep one, the moon.
No, wasn't there another one?
There's flow and Apex and moon.
Okay,
Those are the 3.
so maybe it's just the Apex. I don't really have a problem
Yeah.
sleeping, but yeah, fill me in on this on these supplements you got.
Yeah. So the company started off with the nootropic flow. This is, help you get into the flow state, right? Help you with concentration, focus, memory. I play chess, so I definitely notice a difference in my chess play, my habits, my working habits when I'm on it and when I'm not. You can tell, right? Like if you haven't taken it, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely noticed. I was doing really good for so I started my subscription back in January. That was like my birthday present to myself this year because I'm like, we are gonna A, get our shit together, and B, we're gonna stop smoking so much weed.
Mm.
We're gonna stop doing so much of that. So
Yeah.
those were my
Mhm.
2 goals for myself together: is to become more organized and less procrastination-y, and cut back on my consumption. So
We cut back a little bit.
wait.
Honestly, we probably cut it in half.
I was gonna say, I know that
Yeah.
I cut mine in half, so that means that we cut ours in half.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but yeah, so I do notice it. I've been taking it since January, and I would say somewhere in September, I had like a few days where I missed, I didn't do my morning routine the same, and I missed it, and I was like, let's say it was Wednesday, and I was trying to do something, and I'm like, why am I so fucking retarded right now? What is going on? I'm like, where am I at my cycle? That ain't it. I'm like, I've had enough water. I had my coffee. I've been moving my body. I didn't take my Apex.
Subliminal is a question.
Oh, subliminal.
It-
If you want
it'll-
to kick me some coin for some Men of Order products, you go to menoforder.com/EMP. That's my affiliate.
Support. Bible her link, man.
Yeah, and you guys can get 30% off with that coupon, the coupon code. It's already put in for you. So, but yeah, I do notice it, and it's about 3 days. Like after 3 days, you have one of those moments where you're like, just something ain't right. Something ain't
Mhm.
right.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
and you probably
You
could.
start getting a little brain fog.
There's like a little bit of a slowdown those first 2 days, and if you're not if you don't pay attention to yourself well enough, you won't really notice it. But
Right.
at some point, you get frustrated with yourself, and you're like, I know I could do this. Why ain't I doing
Yeah.
this?
And then when you have it, you're like very sharp and
Mhm.
like on point. It's like a superpower unlocked. Yeah, it's like really
Yeah,
weird.
I definitely got to try this stuff because I have the kind of job where I need to think on my feet constantly. Like
Quickly, yeah.
things come at you quick. I got to have answers right away. And most
Yeah.
days I'm fine. Other days I'm like, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this
Your,
is-
your brain just doesn't want to work.
It's 100% herbal. Most of the products you find in the market, if you check the bottle, you'll find something like rice flour,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you'll see vegetable oil.
Ugh.
So ours is 100% herbal, and we pick the most potent herbs on the planet. And Apex, this is the most potent herbs on the planet that target male sexual organs. Milky oats, black maca. So you're going to get a couple of benefits from this. This one obviously is going to boost your libido. You're definitely going to be Emily's going to be like, get off of me.
So,
Hey.
so it's
My
a,
bologna sandwiches.
it promotes the boost of testosterone, basically. Then I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, that's part of what happens here. Basically, what we're doing is a hormone balancing act, right? And once you bring your hormones into homeostasis, everything starts functioning better. So you'll even notice that we call it Flopex when you take Flow and Apex, because this will give you energy. It's like your vital life force. Everything is just it's just
Better.
really just better. Yeah. Um. So yeah, and obviously your muscle is going to help with muscle growth, muscle recovery. But yeah, these two right here are amazing products, and I think it's because we didn't cheap out. Most companies cheap out, and that's why they have rice flour and vegetable oil in their products
Yeah.
because they
Mm-hmm.
cheap out on the ingredients. Because their approach is they want you to feel it now, right? I don't want you to feel it now. I want you to feel it forever.
Yeah. Also,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
yeah, I just think a lot of companies too try to market everything to a cost, the lowest cost, and I think we live in a society today where people have caught on to that, and people will definitely pay more for a product that they know is better and will work.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're
Mm-hmm.
definitely hitting a turning point in society where people have caught on to the gimmicks and are like, no, I don't care how cheap things are. I want to know what works. I want to know what's good. I want to know what's good for me. I don't care if your product's $12 and it's full of seed oils. I'm going to buy the thing that's $25, but is full of decent, and is actually going to work.
The real
Mm-hmm.
ingredients that I'm seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I get that. In fact, I'm going to have my personal assistant put in an order for Apex and Flow tomorrow.
Okay.
So
That's what's up.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, I'll do
Use
that.
use her coupon code.
No, I'm not going to. I
And
don't do that. I don't do
You're not
coupon
gonna give
codes.
me kickback?
No, I don't do coupon codes. If I believe in something, I'll pay full price.
All right, that's fine. Your assistant believes
nah,
in
you
coupon
gotta
codes
you gotta you
and
gotta use a
kickbacks.
coupon code, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to order it, so you
I
talk to
was
her. But like, I'm a big fan of if I believe in something and I know I'm helping and my money's going to somebody that doesn't hate me and is on the same team, I'll pay full price. I'd rather my money go there and
Yeah.
let that person make maximum profit so that they can reinvest and grow their company so that other people can also get this benefit that I get. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so for that purpose, I rarely use coupon codes for products I believe in. You know what I mean? And if my
Mhm.
wife believes in it, that's good enough for me to believe in it because I trust my wife.
Well, thanks.
Like you didn't know that.
Like I didn't know that. No, I
Yeah.
did know that.
Mhm. Yeah, so those products are absolutely fabulous. Beneforder.com. And we got another one coming. So
Nice. Yeah. Well, we'll
Mhm.
look forward to the launch of that.
The only thing that I do slightly differently that I noticed made things better for me personally is I started taking my Apex. Well, I actually just take all my vitamins at one point in the morning. But what started it was I took my Apex with my methylated folate, which is the bioavailable folic acid. And that it gives it a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a kick.
Okay.
It gets it going quicker. Um,
Okay.
and I think mostly that's because the methylated folate kind of gets your body actually processing everything the way that it's supposed to. If you
Mm.
there's a gene mutation, it's the MTHFR mutation, and there's a decent amount of the population that has this, and it inhibits the absorption of the B vitamins and inhibits the methylation process. So that just
Mm.
means that you're not fully detoxifying on the 24-hour schedule that everyone else is and everyone else is capable of. So if you're the type of person who you've got the brain fog, you have the occasional SADs, you have any sort of metabolic issue, ask your doctor about the MTHFR gene mutation test, or just
Mhm.
start taking methylated folate. And if you notice that you start feeling better, then just assume that you should just keep taking that supplement.
Gotcha.
It was a big changer for me personally, and any chance I have to tell people to.
Yeah. Nowadays, I don't know about asking my doctor about anything.
I know, and you can ask your doctor to run panels. That's
Yeah, they'll do it gladly, thinking they're going to be able to prescribe you something later when really you just want
right. And you're like,
to take a supplement. Yeah.
I just want the information so I know what I got to do on my end. You're just the only way that I can get this information, doctor. But yeah, that's the only thing I wanted to add is the the methylated folate, the bioavailable folate.
Yeah.
And if you're a normal person without the gene mutation, there's no negative side effect to taking bioavailable vitamins.
Sweet.
Yeah. So other than the Men of Order, the only other question I kind of had is I've heard Emily mention Hostepistan more than 1 million times.
Yeah.
What is Hotepistan?
Hotepistan is our society. And in the most fascinating part of Hotepistan, I haven't spoken to the Hotepistanis about this yet because this is a very recent thought. But I was thinking, man, what would we name? What would be the name of the first baby born in Hotepistan?
Ooh.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You know, that's a thought that hit me sometime after the show today, I believe. The first baby born in Hotepistan. But Hotepistan is our society. It is our sanctuary. It is a home away from home. It is a place where we can Hotep and build. Right? People of like minds can come together and work on things and create things and build wealth and build something that they can pass down to their family. You know, it's very much a technology incubation hub, technologies of education, technologies of botanics, all types of technologies, farming, hydroponics, all types of technology, broadcast media.
The Hotepistan Studios.
I used to be a bit of a hydroponics farmer myself.
There you go. See what I'm saying? We call you up. We be in good shape.
Yeah,
you know?
I've got a design for an excellent hydroponics. I mean, it works great for weed. I don't know, I'd imagine it works great for vegetables too. But
look at that. We already in business.
Yeah, but I've got a really good setup that I've never seen anybody else use, and it works phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
there you go. See what I'm saying? This is you welcome to Hotepistan. You are now understanding the vision.
Yeah.
I was gonna be real sad if I was gonna get in and he wasn't able to come in too.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was wholesome white man now, so.
Well, I think. Yeah, you could. That's okay. You could be wholesome white man.
We don't allow married women to come into Hotepistan without their husbands.
Oh, see, there you go.
Score.
That's a rule that I would expect out of you, to be honest with you.
That's a rule we got. You got a husband, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Go be with your husband. We don't want you.
Where's your husband?
Right. Yeah.
Where's your husband at? Yeah, absolutely. I don't want nobody's wife and I. Get out of here. What's wrong with you? That right there is a red flag. You know?
Right. Yeah. And any married woman that wants to be anywhere without her husband's a red flag for sure.
It's a red flag.
I don't know how they'd slip by Goldstein.
It's funny too. It's funny you mentioned Goldstein because I think it was a few weeks ago. Because like I mentioned earlier, we're kind of a small show, so I was like, "Hey, babe, I wonder if Hotep Goldstein would come on for for an episode." I didn't think Hotep Jesus was in the realm of possibilities. Not that there's anything wrong with Goldstein. He's you know what I mean? Like,
you should get Goldstein on, man.
I would love to. I would love to get Goldstein on.
Goldstein is on my list. I need the tip top kitten wear.
Yeah, I watched him on. That's one of the other times I seen you. I watched him do the debate with Bryson.
Oh yeah, we watched
on your show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to. I wanted to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
You should get Goldstein.
Yeah,
on.
even though
Goldstein would be dope.
even though I thought factually he made the correct statements, he lost the debate. Just because he was debating somebody who could quote the Bible better than him in the debate that was mainly about quoting the Bible. So, you know what I mean? Even though I felt he had the right stance and point of view, technically I think he lost the debate.
Bryson's a beast, man. Bryson's a beast.
Yeah, I disagree with a lot of Bryson says, but I think he won the debate regardless. You know what I mean?
The one thing that I will never shade Bryson on is his knowledge of scripture. Boy,
Yeah,
he's
he
got
can.
a whole Rolodex in there.
Yeah, I
He
mean
don't.
he's got a complete misinterpretation of most of it, but he can recall the
That's
verses
but
themselves.
he's
Like
he's got them
Yeah.
stored in there verbatim. He
Yeah.
knows them. Whether the context is there or not is a different story. But he knows them Bible verses.
They got somebody in the chat said I just placed my order for my sleep supplement. Shout out to
Awesome.
Jester.
Oh, Jenny, yeah.
Jenny I'm glad that she's trying the sleep supplement. She's one of our people, and
She's here every week. We appreciate
she's
Jenny so much. Twice a week. She does twice a week every week. We appreciate her.
she's
That's
got
what's up.
issues getting
bathroom.
decent sleep. That's a thing that she's been
I'm
struggling
gonna
with.
leave you at Emily for a minute. I gotta use the
Okay.
bathroom real quick.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
That's fine.
there we go. Let's see how it works out for Jester. For Jenny. Let's see how it works out. Hopefully it helps, you know.
I'm excited to see. Yes, we need to discuss
I
Murphy's
am
Law
too.
Rescue.
Tell her keep in contact with the company and tell us, you know, how she does.
You have to leave us a review on the website.
Yeah, if you like it, you know, leave a review. If you don't like it, leave a review. You
Yes.
know, give us your honest feedback. You know,
All
if it works, it works.
all
If it don't,
feedback is
tell us it don't
welcome.
work. Yeah. I don't know.
So earlier today in the when I told our group chat that we were having you on, somebody mentioned your Starbucks video.
Yeah.
So I went back and I watched it, and I didn't catch it like way back, but this time when I'm watching it, do you remember like baby Hotep being in there and like you guys are
Yeah.
heading in? He's like, "What are you doing?" And then
Yeah.
you're like talking to the video, you're like, "I'm about to give me a free coffee." And he's like, "You lying?" And then and then at the end, he's like, you said something along the lines of, "Yeah, you know, this worked out." And he was like, "You just got lucky." I thought that was I was cracking up listening to his commentary. Just a few little moments that I was like, "Oh, look at little baby Hotep." That's hilarious.
That's my twin right there.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I was like, "That's okay." Now that I like
Yes.
know who that is, I was like, "Oh, that's exactly why
Yeah.
these comments are being made."
Yeah,
That's
he's
why
the
he
heir
got the
he's the heir to the throne. Yeah, what's funny is Jesus and Mero, I forget what station they were on. It wasn't MTV, it was another station that they were on. And they zoomed in on him. They zoomed in on his
Oh
face on
no.
TV. Yeah. And they made a comment and I showed it to him. His head got real big.
Oh, I'm sure. He was like, "I made it to the TV.
I'm on TV.
I made it."
And I was like, see, I told your ass I was gonna do that shit. Yeah.
I
He
think
enjoyed that.
I know that we joke like fuck them kids, but like
Yeah.
there's a really you can't compare the joy that you get from like having your kids and being around them, and like even when it's frustrating when they act like you're just like, "You know what? The world needs a little bit of me a little longer." There's
Yeah.
a pride in it, and then there's also like that like back of your mind fear, like, "Oh no, they got to live this whole life. They got to do this whole thing that I just had to do. They're gonna
Yeah,
have
you gotta
their
get it.
they're gonna have
You
their
got
hard parts. They're gonna have their ups and their downs."
you gotta get them ready. That's the scary part, getting them ready for life, And people talking about why I got gray hairs. One of the reasons because I was coach for a season and I should have stressed you the fuck out.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Kids don't fucking listen, man. You want to beat their ass sometimes.
Yeah.
No. And then the thing is the attitude. Like, nigga, I'll beat your ass, nigga. Catch your attitude one more motherfucking time.
Your mama
I don't
like
get paid.
your mama might let you act like that, but not me, not coach.
Yeah, like what? Like, I ain't got time for this shit. I don't get paid for this shit. I'll beat your little ass.
I'm got a good smile on the heart. Don't test me.
Yeah, I mean, you lucky this ain't 1960. 1960, I'll be able to throw your ass on the ground and beat you the fuck up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
And
even
you-
when
and
I
you-
was a
and
kid,
you-
they could go a lot more. You know what I mean? Not that far, but even in the 80s and 90s, the coaches could get away with a little more than they can nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You serious?
At least back then we could run them till they puked.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That used to happen to me all the time.
Yeah. Had it happen to me once. And I learned. I was like, I ain't about to mess with Coach Mochin no more. Fuck
You
that
know what I'm
bitch.
saying?
She don't play.
That's what I
She don't
wanted to
play.
do. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just,
Smoke them.
Yeah.
The the other side of having kids is having to be around other people and other people's kids. Is that something you do well, or is that something that you sort of kind of like dread? Because I'm a team dread that. I don't want to be around other people's kids. I don't want to be around other people who have kids. Because, like, I don't know how y'all do that. And it certainly ain't the way I do it.
It depends on the kids.
Mm.
Like some of them make it worth it, and then some of them it's just like why are you here? Like
Because their parents made them.
Like, who do you think you are, right? Like,
You're all of 7 years old.
Yeah, and then you got those little kids who think they're professional athletes already. You got that prima donna attitude.
They're all right at that age. It's when they turn 14. Like I was dealing with little teenagers, and they start feeling some type way about themselves, and they start feeling themselves, and it's like,
yeah, a little nudge drop. They got that testosterone going all of a sudden. They think they're the king of the world.
Yeah, so now I gotta tell them, like, bro, you're trash.
Right.
This is how I was talking to the kids after a while. Like, after a while, I was like, look, I'm gonna talk to y'all exactly how I'm gonna talk to y'all. So when they was like, there's one kid, he was saying something, I'm like, bro, but you're trash. And all the kids are like, oh, coach called him trash.
Just being
and then I gotta
honest
build
with
them
you.
back up.
You don't want to be
But,
you don't want coach to call you trash. Don't be trash.
Yeah.
I mean, have a nice attitude. That's the very least, because we got Carlos. Carlos is a good kid. He shows up to every practice. He doesn't have the most ability and athleticism, but he's a good kid. He's respectful. He's responsible. But sometimes these kids, they think they're better than what they are.
Yeah,
they got like delusion.
You got to teach those kids to be more like little Carlos there, because that's the kind of attitude that's going to get you further in life as an adult. You know what I mean? You gotta be respectful.
Yeah.
You gotta be intelligent. You gotta think things through. You got, you gotta be humble.
Be consistent.
Yeah. Be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was a few kids in the group that, make it worth it. But, I last year I was coaching a practice and it was like 0 degrees. And I was like, it was like, half the kids showed up because it was cold.
Right.
And I was like, if I got more dedication than them, then it's time to get, out, right? And start back over. So I'm starting with the little one. She's about to turn 4. So yeah, I'm focused on that one now, but I'm done coaching. I can't coach anymore. It takes up too much time, and I missed a lot of opportunities coaching, but the kids ain't gonna make the sacrifice. I'm not gonna make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's honestly at the end of the day. If the kid's not super into it, like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I understand the start of it. I want to, I want the kid to accomplish something, get a little pride in himself. There's certain things that kids do need to go through as a child. They need the sense of accomplishment for something. Participation trophies don't cut it as much as people think they do.
No, they need to.
Like, it needs to be an actual accomplishment. It doesn't matter if you won a championship. Did you learn something? Did you progress? Did you see a difference from when you started this year to when you ended this year? That's the type of thing that builds a man. You know what I mean? Little gains.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Starts when you're young.
And I had one of my best players. He was like, Coach, I'm moving, so I won't be on the team anymore. And I was like, well, you retire, I retire.
I'm out of here now.
Yeah, like he was one of, like, without him, it's just like, and he was one of those kids, like, again, like zero technical skill. We're talking about soccer here. The kid has zero technical skill. He's the most effective person on the field. It's ridiculous, but for some reason, like, he can dribble, though. It looks very awkward, but
he will
cut you up. Yeah, like, he'll cut you up. And and he's big, he's strong, and he's fast, and he's aggressive. And he doesn't care if he makes mistakes. It's like he loses the ball, he just turns around, goes
Tries
back
to
and
get to
gets it,
it.
and then
Yeah.
tries again. Like, and it's just
Yeah.
like some people, they lose the ball and then they put their head down. It's
Like,
like, no, go get the ball back.
go get it
Like,
back.
Yeah. That kid's gonna grow up and be
yeah,
a great man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
yeah.
You learn from your
So,
failures, man. You don't learn from your successes. You learn from your failures.
yeah. Then you got other kids, you get the know-it-alls, right? And it's just like, hey, yo, on that last play, you were supposed to do such, such, and such. What do you mean? Bro, I'm not about to sit here and do attorney with you, bro. Like, I'm not about to sit here and explain it to you, and you want to sit here and get defensive every time I say it. If you want to get defensive, you can go the fuck home. I'd be wilding. That's why I had to quit, because once I started wilding like that, I was like, yeah, I got to get the hell out of here. This is
Right.
not a good environment for the kids. But that at some point I had to talk to him like that. I had to talk to him like, listen, bro, like, you a little man, and it's just like, I'm here to coach you. Do you want to get better? All right, then shut up and do what I told you to do.
Yeah. That's my job.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I hear I know exactly what you're saying, because like I was that kid. You know what I mean? I grew up and I knew everything. Nobody was gonna tell me nothing. Every time somebody tried to correct me, I knew better. And then I joined the military. And I joined the military back when the military was still the military. And also I was Army Ranger, so I was special operations. I mean, they beat that out of me. Like, you don't know shit, homie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They beat that out of me, and I am such a better man for it. Like, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I would never nowadays ever recommend anybody's kid join the military. You know what I mean? But back when
not
I
the
joined in the
same,
late
yeah.
90s, it was a good thing for me. It changed my life. It is the reason I am the man I am today. But it's not the same military. You will not get the same experience today, you know?
No.
And
No,
Only
nowadays they letting you in with you know what?
yeah,
the Mike and Ikes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me some days to admit that the military did such good for me, because at the end of the day, I do realize it was all bullshit, and I was, you know what I mean? Like, it was, I was not defending my country in any way at all. I was making bankers money and being the government's hitman, basically. And that was all I was trained to do, is take out people that the bankers feel, are not worthy of living anymore. But even knowing that, going back, it is the reason I am the man I am today, and without it, I would not be successful like I am now. So good can come from evil, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so
I tried to get into the military. They ain't let me in, man. I was on probation.
Yeah, back in the day when you're roughly the same age as me, I'm guessing. So yeah, back in the day you couldn't get in like that. Nowadays,
No.
they don't care. They'll take anybody. The recruitment's so low. They'll write you
Yeah.
a waiver for anything.
They would have let me in there nowadays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, okay, you got 12 felonies. That's fine. Sign here.
you'll be all right with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
The I said it earlier. The number one thing that I have taken from Hotep Nation as a whole is there's just no space for victimhood. There's just no space for the victimhood mentality. And
Yeah.
like he just said, like, good can come out of evil. I personally don't think that anything that you have experienced in this life is a net negative. I think that even though it may have been bad at the time and it may have been like the worst, it still gave you something. You got something out of it. There is a level of resilience that you have because of it. And because you have that ingredient that other people don't have, you have the potential to go further. You have the potential to push through the failure, to push through the hard, to realize like, oh yeah, no, this fucking sucks, but it ain't as bad as, whatever that was. And that desire and the drive to like move forward and continue building and growing, and like, it's, you take what you need and like you leave the rest, is the big thing that I think as a people we have forgotten, like as a species of human beings. It's, none of us get out of this fucking game called life unscathed. None of us do.
You're gonna have to pay the price.
Yeah, and like you said a couple of times on this, there is a price to pay. Whether it's, your time, your attention, or little chips of your soul, you're paying a price for it. The
They sending me Kamala memes on my feed. What's going on here?
They're
I
just
posted a
trying to.
video. Did you see the video with her on Fox?
No. Oh,
Nah.
I heard
It-
that she was getting roasted. Like it was not going well for her.
It's terrible. She's
Terrible.
getting slaughtered.
So have we all agreed that those earrings she's been wearing are their microphones?
Yes,
'Cause
everybody knows
she's
that at this
No,
point.
that
no,
she has worn
no.
the same set of earrings.
And at one
in
point, she
every
covered her ears and her
single-
mouth and was like, "I'm live broadcast." Like she was getting.
No. She's got a real earpiece in.
Oh,
Okay.
like a legit
A legit
Secret
earpiece.
Service
It's not the
earpiece?
earrings.
Okay.
She's got an
Okay.
earpiece in.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. In the Fox interview, I'm not sure if she has them. In the Fox interview, she's getting cues from the background.
Yeah, she's not good at
They
hiding.
said that she's got 4 people. She got 4 handlers.
At least 4 handlers.
It takes 4
She
of
got
them.
4 She got 4 handlers that went with her to this interview.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
She's a vile woman. Let's all be honest about this. Like
she's terrible.
she's the epitome of what is wrong with women in this era. She personifies all the evil and wrong things with women in the era that we live, in the generation here.
She really do. I thought for sure that it was more of a she's the midpoint between Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton. Like that's kind of where I've been sitting.
She's
like,
as dumb as Sarah Palin, but as power hungry as Hillary Clinton.
Exactly. Like she's got that like honky moms are pit bulls with lipstick. Let's unburden my what has been. You know, like she's got that going for her, but then also she'll do what needs to be done to get the job done, like Hillary will. So
Yeah.
it's just I'm not a fan of her. California should have kept her, but I don't know. Is it November 6th yet?
Oh, she's crashing out. So I can't wait to watch this interview.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. So you had made a comment on Luke's show that what if the Trump assassination was a PR stunt?
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite a PR stunt, but I think it's staged. So my theory, because I've said this, anybody who watches this show knows my theories on this. My theory on this is Trump is in on this. This whole thing is a game. It's a staged. It's a play. Everybody, you know what I mean. The world is staged. Trump is in on this. The whole 2016 election he won, then the 2020 election he lost, and even though it was clearly rigged, he never really contested, never really filed official lawsuits. And now in 2024, he's going to come back and be everybody's savior. You know what I mean? It seems like a scripted thing. I think he is in on this, part of the deep state, whatever you want to call it. And the intention is for him to win. And I really think that the assassination attempts were really just staged to draw more support towards him. And, people have said like, oh, but somebody died during that. Like, do you think the government's really above just shooting somebody? Just shooting some random... Like, do people really think the government won't just shoot a random citizen?
I know they would.
Like, I mean, I already know your answer to this, but Hotep, do you think the government would just shoot a random citizen?
Now think about this, right? I'm on Luke's podcast with that same exact thought running through my head.
Right, and these people are all like, but an innocent man lost his life. Like, so? Like, I don't see your point.
Yeah, I'm like, where am I right now?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, but who would allow him to take a shot that close to his head? Like, who said that bullet went anywhere near his head? You know what I mean? Like, they shot that dude in the audience from some angle. Who knows which angle? Like, who cares? Like, that bullet went nowhere near that man's head. They just shot a random guy in the audience and called it an assassination attempt. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
It's probably closer to the truth than what we're hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the truth is, but that you're probably closer to the truth.
Yeah, but when you said that, like, it was probably just a PR stunt. Like, my ears perked up. I was like, oh, this guy's speaking my language. Hold on a minute. Let me listen real close now. What's he gonna say next? Like, I know this.
And I'm just like, can we at least entertain the thought?
No, they wouldn't though. They're like, oh, but somebody lost their life. Like, that happens every day, bro. Life means nothing.
All the
you know
time.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, apparently you people have never been to a third world country. I've been to third world countries, bro. Life means nothing to most people.
No.
Like, it's only here in America where we, like, and in Western nations that people really think life has a significant meaning. You know what I mean?
And that's only because we've all been told that, and some of us believe it.
Like,
And see, now if I would have came out and said what you said on the show, everybody would have said Hotep Jesus being a troublemaker.
but it's,
What'd he
He's
say?
not taking the interview seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I hear you. I hear you. I sometimes, honestly, you know, there's the alternative media nowadays, and the Luke We Are Changes and the Tim Cat, but they all seem to have the same talking points too. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of something makes you think, like, well, is this just government released talking points at this point too from the independent media? You know, like, is there even a such thing anymore?
I mean, outside of I'm totally on your side, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, you look at
if I'm on X, I have Luke blocked. I have Tim Pool blocked. I don't see those people. I don't want them to have oxygen from me. I don't want my little intermittent scrolling to give them money. I don't want that. I don't want to hear your nonsense. So I have those people blocked. And I encourage them. Ian Miles Chong, he's on the block list too. The Krasensteins, they're on the block list. Like, my block list is long. If y'all want it, I'll find it, screenshot it. You can have it too. But like, I don't give those people my attention, solely because you, yes, I guess you serve a purpose. But also at the end of the day, if I go up a few levels, if I get up out of this hoi polloi realm, I don't need to hear what you're saying. Because all it is a rebranded government approved message.
Y'all think here. I think up here. Like, I don't think
what is that?
That's
in
you.
the
That's you.
hoi polloi realm of things.
What? Oh, I was like, yo, why am I hearing
above the
myself?
fray. I'm watching
You're
y'all
a button on my
argue
board,
over
sir.
Stupid shit.
This is
You got Alex Jones, I got you.
yeah. I got your little hoi polloi rant as a button.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's
See,
up.
it's just me, says in the chat. I think Tim Pool is a fence sitter. I have said that man has hemorrhoids from the amount of fence sitting that he does.
Like, it's just
Oh
me
my
is like I can't say enough good things about that account, that person. I don't know if it's a man or a woman or who it is, but
Who?
it's just me.
Oh, it's just me. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
man. He's a man.
Okay,
Just
well,
man.
it's just me as bro.
Not to like put his business out there, but you guys would get along.
It seems like it. I've seen his comments.
Yeah. The but so the other thing in that the conversation that you had on Luke's show, and then you made a post today, and I think that the two tie together very nicely. Your post this afternoon about y'all know more about abortion than you do the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Cackled. I fucking cackled when I read that because I was like, it really is like that.
It'd be like that, yeah.
It really like it be like that, and it just took me back to that moment when you were explaining, like when you made the comment about the Federal Reserve owing the Treasury, or the Treasury owing the Federal Reserve, or however that conversation went, and then the conversation shifted to like printing money, and Clint and Luke both were like, that's not how that works. Like, they
Oh.
didn't understand how the Federal Reserve
So-
works. And I'm like, and Tom's point, I'll let him go.
Oh yeah, so I made a point. We were watching the show, and Luke and Clint are both people who will make a living talking about end the Fed and how the Federal Reserve's evil. And I watched you school them with blank looks on their face about how the Federal Reserve actually works. And I'm like, how are these idiots like? Which leads me to believe that again, it's more controlled opposition. That you know they have their same talking points. They're issued like just like the mainstream media's issued talking points. Here's your gist. Here's what you're going to talk about. This is the
This is what-
disinformation that we want you to feed to these people. You
This
know what I
is
mean?
this is what gets the people going.
Yeah.
Get at it.
These are your approved talking points.
Yeah, but like two people that seem to make a living off of talking about the Federal Reserve have no idea. Like I'm watching you explain this, and I'm like nodding my head along with you, and I look at their face on the camera, and they're both like,
wait, what?
like wait, the Federal Reserve does
Hold
what?
on.
They
Is this how it goes?
they're supposed to what? Like
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
like way to expose both of them like on the spot. You know what I mean?
What you said they're supposed to be experts on that?
It's what they claim
Oh,
to be.
yeah, that's their main
Really?
thing.
That's their thing. They constantly, that's like any libertarian, that's their thing. End the Fed. The Federal Reserve is bad. It's evil. And they don't even know why it's evil. You know what I mean? Like that's their
No
thing.
way.
Yeah. So these
Oh
motherfuckers are
my
like,
God, that's bad.
yeah, these motherfuckers are making a living off it, and the Fed and the Federal Reserve's bad and Austrian economics. You know what I mean? Like that's their whole shtick for years. And
And
then
they
like you
don't.
come on there and like explain to them how it works, and they're both like, "Wait, that's how it works? I didn't know
You
that."
know, the thing is, like, I actually went and did the studies,
Yeah.
right? Like I actually went and read all those libertarian books. I went and read Rothbard,
Mm-hmm.
History of Money and Banking. I went and read, what is it called? It's on Monetary Theory by Robert Murphy on Mises.com. I read Robert Murphy's stuff. Like I actually went and studied the material, Creature from Jekyll Island. You know, I actually went and read the material.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the same way. I was reading the material and I'm like, yo, the people that talk about this stuff don't know what the fuck they're talking about
Right.
as I'm reading the books.
Right, yeah. Which means that they didn't actually read the books. They looked at the cliff notes or they listened to what Dave Smith told them, and they all. That's most likely is they all
That's-
listened to what Dave Smith told them, and they all just like, okay,
They
that
all
sounds
ran
good.
with it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I actually went and read the material and digested it.
No, I could tell by the way that you responded to them on that, and I was like, yeah, he's right. And then they,
Yeah, 'cause
and I
he
saw
said
the
Federal Reserve. He said the Federal Reserve prints money, and the Federal Reserve does not print money.
no,
No.
Yeah.
the Federal Reserve collects the money from the Treasury.
And
Or no, the Federal Reserve
Yeah.
pays the Treasury for the money that's printed.
The-
Correct.
the funniest part to me was that was the response was, "Oh, printer go burr." Like, yes, that's a colloquial joke that we all make, but that's not
Right.
actually how it works.
Right. Like, I'm
Right.
not going to pretend to be as versed on it as you are, but I know more than both of them apparently after watching that episode. You know what I mean?
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's absolutely sad.
So the reason why I asked about the evolution of Hotep Jesus and how you came to be and encouraging other people to embrace the growth process, to embrace the fact that some old parts of you will have to die, or make them a little bit smaller to fit into who you're trying to be,
hmm
because I think that a majority of the people that we're presented with, they're not on the same life journey that we are. Like, that is like they've made this caricature of themselves, and that's what they're gonna be. That's who they will always be. Like, they may do some slight changes here and there, but like they found the formula that quote unquote works, so they're gonna stick with that.
And they will
They're-
protect this caricature at all costs.
And that's the other part of it, is like, once you identify with this caricature that you've presented to everyone, then you become protective of it. And then you kind of like, you really do box yourself into this, you'll never be more than that caricature. And I think that there's been a decent enough amount of time where people have gotten away with just having the caricature, but you can't actually live your life like that sustainably. Like, you can't continue to be somebody's friend and husband and father eventually if you're just this caricature that you've created. And that's I don't want to like assume anything of anybody, but I feel like that's kind of where a lot of the people my age, that 30 to 35 crowd, like when we put ourselves on the internet out there, like, this is how we're going to be forever and we'll never change because this is what you people want. But it's a compromise, and it's not good for you, the individual, and it's also doesn't do your audience any service, because we don't want everybody to stay in the same place forever. Like, you should, like, if we listen to Rush Limbaugh every once in a while, that's fine, but like, you should mix it up. You shouldn't always just listen to Rush Limbaugh, because then eventually you turn into Rush Limbaugh, the
Yeah.
loud screaming guy who's
Yeah.
always angry about everything.
Yeah.
The fear of failure, I think, is what probably, and fear of rejection is what probably has people identifying with the caricatures that they've made. And that's not, ultimately, it's not good for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want people modeling their lives after the Tate brothers, for example. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want the young men of any young man that we know, right? That's not what the path that we want for them.
you know, it's okay to like take some of their confidence, maybe, but like for the most part, you don't want to actually be like those men. You don't the life that they live, the things that they do, you don't actually want that for yourself. It seems good and it's presented as good. But I think the excuse me, I think the thing that will change that is people like yourself who have put themselves out there and said, "Hey, this is where, you know, this is where I'm at right now." And I appreciate that you're hanging out with me and you're here with me now, but like things might change. I might say something that upsets you. I might not agree with everything that you have to say. You know what I mean? But if you keep coming back, that's cool. I'll still be here. I'm gonna do this, and I guess if I distill it all the way down, like do the things that you want to do because you feel like you're capable of doing them, or you feel like you're being driven or called to do those things, because they're the most scariest things to do, but they're also the most beneficial things to do.
Absolutely.
Is I think my main takeaway is
Yeah.
do the shit that you're scared to
I think
do.
anybody who's watched this show from the beginning, especially if they've caught our Catholic Chats episodes, know that our views on things have changed throughout this journey we're on because we absorb new information. And when you absorb new information, your opinions change on things.
Or they should, anyways.
Yeah, they absolutely should. Yeah.
You either galvanize to the opinions you already had, or it shifts slightly because, like you said, new information is available.
Well, everybody's just grifting. That's why we came up with the grifties, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's just, thinking about, what to say that's going to make our audience scream and cheer for us. And that's what's said, right?
Yeah,
Well, for the most part, yeah.
that is.
On this show, that's not
Right.
how it works. But yes, on most
Yeah.
areas, yeah.
And that's why a lot of times people don't have me on their shows. People like, how come you don't have Hotep Jesus? Because I'm going to say some shit that proves that the motherfucker you listen to is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's so,
And
it's so funny that you said that, because I was like, I think my favorite part of when he goes on guests on shows is that the people who like are in the overlap, like the Venn diagram of Hotep Jesus or Hotep Nation and like, let's say Luke We Are Change, that Venn diagram of people where that overlap is, those episodes, those are like decision maker episodes. There's no like specific one that did it for me, but specifically, if I didn't already have Luke blocked for reasons, for just the way he behaves, I would definitely would have fallen off after that one. I'd have been like, okay.
Bro, you look so annoyed during that whole episode. It was hilarious. I both felt bad for you and respected you so much at the same time.
I was
felt awkward from
reading.
the start.
And that's the thing, is like I was reading the body language and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is awkward.
That was my first point. Was look at his body language. Look at how he's sitting. Look what he's put his hand right here. Look at. But aside from that, like I assume, and I said this to Emily right off the bat, like 3 minutes into the interview, I looked at her. I said, "So this is a business decision he's making, right?
Probably.
Like being on this show is a business decision. Am I correct?"
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to hear that out of your mouth, so I knew I was correct. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like I was gonna be in Miami. So, Luke saw I was gonna be in Miami. He was like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" And I know that they have viewers, so I was just like,
Why not?
this is probably, I looked at it like work, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I
Mhm.
looked at it like this is something that, while I'm here, I should probably talk to people that listen to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like what you do when you tour, right?
I'm
Yeah.
in the area.
and that was the exact statement I said to her. I said he looks at this right now as he has X amount of thousand viewers right now, and that's potentially X amount of 100 viewers that he could potentially grab from that audience and bring to his own audience at the time, and that is why he's doing the show right now, and that is the only reason why he's doing the show right now. So
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
that, because like I said, you looked very uncomfortable. You did not look at home.
You know,
but I
it's-
agreed with every word that came out of your mouth. So I'm like, it's a good thing. You know what I mean?
But it's not just Luke, it's
There's a lot of other shows where I've been like, this isn't where he wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
a
know.
whole movement, the whole libertarian movement, and there are people you can pluck out of that movement that you know what I mean, that are just, they're there because of a certain specific thing. And if you can provide them that specific thing with a better path, then good for you. You know what I mean? You need to pluck those people out of that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
A rescue mission of sorts, if you will. Just be like, come
that's
over
what
here, come hang out with us in Hotepistan. It's nice.
exactly.
It's nice over here. We don't purposely upset you and try to get your amygdala activated. Shout out Adam Curry for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a $5 super chat.
Oh,
A Rumble rant rather.
all right.
I've got Bill the Butcher.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that.
Hey, just got here. Got to start from the jump of the stream. Just showing some love. Thank you, Bill the Butcher.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
we don't get a whole lot of Rumble Rant money, mainly because I don't ask for it. The money is not the reason I do this show. The money, I get the money from going to work every day. We do the show because
it's fun.
It's fun. It's a hobby. I'm not gonna lie, it is a fun hobby, but also I feel like if I can put truth out there, somebody will eventually find it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Somebody will stumble across it and it'll make a difference.
Emily tells me all the time. Hotep says if you just keep showing up every week, people will eventually follow.
Yeah.
It's consistency, man. You got to show up.
That's the formula. So when I first started doing this, it was I was subscribed to your Thursday one that you do with, I'm drawing a fucking blank on it. The Thursday one you do with Unc. What's the name of that one?
Hotep's been told you.
Hotep's been told you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was drawing a blank on it. I was subscribed to Hotep's been told you, and I was watching one of your guys' Monday shows, and Unc was just like, he had like a really humble, honest, vulnerable moment, and he's like, it's really crazy that we're at, I don't even remember what episode it was. It was like 300 and something. He's like, it's crazy that we're at this, and all we did was just keep showing up, and I was like, oh, okay. That really is just the fucking deciding factor, is to stick with it. Okay. No, it makes sense now. If you tell yeah. That and then
you gotta stick with it and try to get better too.
yes. And that's the that's the part that I have learned to embrace, is the trying to get better at it. It's different than just doing it to get it done, and also like caring about what you're doing and making the slight adjustments here and there to provide the better product. That's been the enjoyable side of this, of learning this for me, is actually like giving a shit about what I'm doing. Because it's like I said, it's one thing to just do it and get it done and put it out there, but then it's a different feeling of satisfaction and gratification when you actually put the effort in.
Yeah. You gotta just show up, put your best foot forward and try to get better. That's the hard part, is trying to get better. That's always the difficult part. Knowing what to update, change, modify, etc., etc.
Yeah. I like I like the new additions that you've done since you switched over to streaming on Kick.
What do you mean?
You have your new tip bot. So when people send in tips,
Oh yeah.
There's the little robot voice that reads out the donations.
Oh yeah.
And then also something else that you've added recently is your slides for your different segments throughout the show.
Oh yeah, the bumpers.
Yeah, that was I appreciated it at first, but then when Tom and I were watching today's Grift Report earlier, I was like, because sometimes today specifically with the Grift Report, I was just listening to it. I wasn't actually able to watch it. So
Right.
I didn't catch all the slides and the bumpers that came through. And I was like, you know what? These are actually like real smooth and real nice. This is a good addition. Also, a quick shout out to the Haram Life.
The Haram Life. Got the shirt on tonight.
Reef.
Shout out to Haram Life.
Yeah, gotta love Reef, Legend, and Shadow.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers. They have started adding bumpers to their show too, and I like that. Now I feel the need to like add in a bumper here and there. So
What's a bumper?
just like a quick the little quick video that ran before each segment. that
Oh,
we did
okay.
today.
I can work on some of that stuff. That's easy enough.
Yeah, I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, we're very new to the whole podcasting thing, video live streaming thing. So, like I said, everything looks a little low quality now because I haven't figured out all the graphics and the fun stuff yet. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. I feel like honestly, if you went back and you watched
Episode
like
1.
episode 1,
Ooh,
episodes 1 through 5, that was the struggle bus.
yeah.
That was the struggle
It
bus.
was.
And then
It was.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then we figured it out.
Well, first I had episode 1. We were using like a 20-year-old laptop that
It
didn't.
wasn't 20 years old. It
Either
was
way,
8 years
it
old.
doesn't. It didn't have a strong enough processor to do. So, like, literally, our stream cut halfway through. We had to do it in 2 sections. You know what I mean? Like, it was so bad. It was 2 of us using a laptop webcam,
Yeah.
like with laptop angled to get both of us. And it was so bad. So then I invested in a super nice laptop with a i7 15th gen fucking 16 core processor and all. So I knew I would have the processing power to do whatever I needed to do. Then I upgraded to a nice camera. We added some studio lights. You know, I got 5 monitors. Actually, it's 3 monitors. I won't get
It's
2,
3.
but I got 3 monitors going. Like, you know, we added to the thing to make sure that it looked as professional as possible. Because I don't know, I feel that's what.
He's picky about what podcasts he listens to and also watches because the free time that he does have is a very precious.
Very precious. So like if your quality, like I mean, don't get me wrong, if your content is that good, like I will overlook the quality, but most people don't have good enough content to overlook the poor quality that they produce. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm a big fan of, like, I watch something and like 5 minutes in, like if your audio sucks and your video sucks, like I'm done with you. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna watch something else. Somebody else is saying the same things as you, but with better quality, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody has high standards now.
So,
Yo, I gotta go. I got a deadline. I gotta.
yeah,
meet.
no, we
Yes, sir.
completely understand. It's been 2 hours. We completely appreciate your time, sir. Why don't you tell everybody real quick where to find you at before you go?
HotepJesus.com, man.
All right.
That's the number one spot to find him.
Hotep Jesus, I'm sure they'll see you on Fox News again at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you'll be on Gutfeld being the most anti-Semitic troll on the market right now, according to Media Matters.
Yeah, right.
So, all right, sir. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Everybody go to hotepjesus.com. I posted a link. I showed a link on the screen earlier about Hotep and Told You. Patreon.com, Hotep and Told You. That's on the screen right now again. So if anybody's really that interested, you want to donate some money to this man because he's doing the right thing, and steering people in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. So
I appreciate that, man. I had a great time, man. Y'all go ahead and be safe. Have a good night tonight,
yeah,
man.
you too, sir. Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
sir.
Thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hotep and build.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Hotep Jesus. I honestly still can't believe he actually showed up on our show. A show that across 3 platforms maybe gets 200 views a week. Maybe.
That's okay. We appreciate all of you, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, everybody, thank you very much for coming out. We appreciated everything. We especially appreciate everybody who views. Without you guys, we don't have a show.
We're speaking into the void. There's no
So-
point in doing this. Just kidding. There is a point in doing this. It's cathartic for us.
Yeah,
Um,
right. At this point, it's just what we do on Sundays and Thursdays,
Right,
or
it's
Sundays and
just-
Wednesdays. I'm sorry, I'm getting my days all screwed
It's
up.
just part of our routine. I made it through all of my questions, guys. Yay! I thought for sure that I was going to miss a couple, but I didn't. We got them all done.
Yay, Emily!
Look at us go, guys. I'm so proud of us. We did that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, thanks everybody for coming out. We're gonna end it here. Again, like I've said a million times, we appreciate all of you. Please come back next week. Emily will be back by herself Friday for Nephilim Morning Crew.
Actually, Mike and I.
Oh, you'll be back with Mike. Yeah, Mike. So
we're gonna do a 1984 watch party on Friday.
Everybody loves Michael C. Hall. He's a great man. He's extremely successful comedian. Before he came out against the establishment, he was on multiple TV shows.
Yep.
Used to open for Dave Chappelle a lot.
He
Endlessly,
had it going, but then he said something that they didn't agree
yeah,
with.
endlessly talented man. And then, he said something the establishment didn't agree with, and he got kicked out of Hollywood. But good
Now
news for you people. He's on Nephilim Morning Crew on Mondays and now this Friday.
Yeah, and he's also he's the one who organized the Grifties. So
Yeah.
he's a happy member of Hotepistan.
Yeah,
so
shout out to
it
Michael
all-
C. Hall, one of the great men. He's an excellent man. I am proud to know this man, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna have to tell Mike to watch the end of the show.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Don't nobody tell him I said this stuff about him.
Right. Don't do that. Don't
Excellent
do
man.
that.
But yeah, see him and Emily on Friday they're gonna do a 1984 watch party.
Yep.
And then Emily and I will be back on Sunday night for another Catholic Chats. It is week 4 of RCIA.
Yep.
And then there will be other Catholic related things we talk about. Please show up for that if you're at all anything interested in anything Catholic. Even if you just enjoy watching us banter.
Yeah.
It's a good time for that.
Ultimately, if you have the free time on Wednesdays or Sundays at roughly 7:15 p.m., we're here. Come hang out with us.
Yep, it's a good time. We're here on YouTube, Rumble, and X, but everybody watches us on Rumble.
On Rumble,
Yeah.
find us on Rumble.
We get like 12 views on YouTube, 30 views on X, and like 200 views on Rumble. But yes, we appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for coming. And we will see you all we'll see you on Sunday.
You know when we'll see us.
We'll see you. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. God bless
Our
you.
thing's not playing. It does this. I hate when it does this.
That's okay.
Okay, it's playing.
At least it doesn't just do it to me to embarrass me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for coming out.